If you are looking for a total body hatha yoga class with a deep stretch and strengthening, then join me on your yoga mat today. Hi, I'm Melissa from Yoga with Melissa. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, welcome. We're going to get right into a deep stretch and strengthening total body yoga workout. First of all, I just wanted to thank everybody who joined us yesterday in the live class that I did to show you how we support our members behind the scenes. It was great to connect with all of you there. And for those of you who weren't able to join us live, I just wanted to let you know to make sure to go back and listen to that because there's a time-sensitive offer in there that's available until the end of March 31st. So make sure you watch that, and there's a gift in there as well. So we had a great time, and a lot of you really resonated with that. Also, thank you so much for your feedback on last week's class on the 12 yoga poses that you should do every day. So many of you love that. I know you guys are repeating that class like crazy. So it's a great reason to make sure that you subscribe to this channel and press that little bell so you don't miss any of our classes, and also so you don't miss next week's class. We're going to be doing a daily yoga nidra, and Tim and I are going to drive 2.5 hours to a gorgeous location. Our members have actually helped me choose this location. They're totally pumped about it. So yeah, we're going there. Doesn't matter. You can get lots of B-roll. We've got it figured out. Okay, so we're going to start. And welcome to new people. It's great to have you with us. We're going to start lying on our belly in Shavasana, okay? You're going to need a strap and some blocks for today. So Shavasana on your belly is particularly grounding and centering, especially if you tend to worry a lot. And you just want to center yourself. Or if you have any digestive issues, if you lie on your belly like this to start, it's very helpful. So as you're lying on your belly, just notice how you're feeling. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and just check in what you want to receive from your class today. Okay, and then we're going to start. Our first pose is going to be half bow pose. So take your left hand out long in front of you, bend your right knee, Reach around and hold on to your right foot or your right ankle. And then you're going to roll your right shoulder back and up. Inhale. Remember, this is our first pose, so don't go, I want to say balls to the walls, but just go easy here. Inhale. I just said it. Inhale. Exhale, pull your ankle away from your buttocks. Just gently. This pose strengthens your back. It's a deep stretch for your quads and your chest. And then you're going to slowly lower down. And you're going to switch. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Bend your left leg. Reach around, hold on to your left ankle. Pull your left heel away from your buttocks. Press your right hand into the ground. So it opens your chest, stretches your quads. It cures constipation. It improves digestion and it improves your circulation. Okay, slowly lower down. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Okay. You're going to go back to the first side, reach around, hold on to your right ankle, roll your right shoulder back and up. You can hold on to the inside of your foot as well. That's nice. Actually, let's do it that way this time. Gives you a different opening up through your chest this time. Inhale. Exhale, pull your foot away from your buttocks. So we don't have to hold on to unhealthy feelings and thoughts. When we do these kinds of poses, it helps us to let go of unhealthy feelings and thoughts. Then you're going to slowly lower down. Wiggle your hips. Reach around again. This time you're going to hold on to the inside of your left foot if you can. So on this side, for me, I just don't have that external rotation on my left shoulder to be able to do that. So if you can do that, it changes the whole pose. Inhale. Exhale, pull your heel away from your buttocks again. So when you do a pose like this that helps you to let go of toxins and impurities, then we can connect with our self-worth and take in vital energy, connect with that jewel in the lotus. Okay, and then we're going to lower down and just wiggle your hips from side to side. Okay, from here, you're just going to roll over onto your back. You're going to need your strap now. And we're going to do some hand to big toe pose to open up the hamstrings. So you're going to take your strap and let's place it around the ball of your foot on your right leg. And extend your right leg into the air. If you have low back problems, you're going to keep your left leg bent. So this opens up the whole back of your leg. It's great for your hip joints, your knee joints, your ankle joints, your calves, your hamstrings. It's great for digestion again, for menstrual issues. And then you're going to take that leg and just lengthen both legs out for a moment and feel the difference between your right and left side of your body. And then we'll go ahead and do this on the other side. So place the strap around the ball of the foot on your left side and lengthen your leg up until you feel sensation along the back of your leg. This pose also helps you to go with the flow in life, to trust in your life, and to flow with your emotions. So if you tend to get stuck with anxiety, paralyzed with fear, kind of stuck with perfectionism, and these poses really allow you to flow, to trust in the mysterious unfolding of your life. Okay, and then we're going to release this pose. And from here, we're going to come onto your right side. So you're going to take your body in a straight line, take your right elbow underneath your right shoulder, bend your legs back, and all we're going to do here is you're just going to lift your side torso away from the ground. So do you see that? So what you're just going to do is lift away. Okay? So I'm just trying to lift up my baggy shirt here so you can see that. So we're just going to lift away, and you'll feel your core working there to do that. This is, so you're going to start just training your core here so that when we actually lift your hips up off the ground, you're not sinking right into your shoulders. You've actually trained and prepared your core for this. You guys can just have your arm up here. Yes, can you still see that movement without? Okay. And can you can feel that in your obliques, right? Okay. And then let's just do that on the other side. And we'll come back, don't worry. So you'll be on your left side now. Body's in a straight line. And then you're going to bend your knees back. And you're just going to lift your torso away and lower back down. So lift your torso away and lower back down. So this is my right side now, so it's much stronger, but it's your left. So notice the difference on this side. This will also really tone and strengthen your shoulders and your arms. Yeah, it's not easy. It's a really good way to prep for side plank. So you can stay with that. We're going to go back to the first side. But it's important. We need to do this, right? Because we need to have strength in our core, in our upper body. So back to the first side, right side. And so you're going to do that first bit. Stack your hips so they're one on top of each other. You're going to lift and pull away. Then it's easy. Just pull those hips off the ground. And then you're going to reach that top arm up off the ground and hold. Okay, and then we're going to come down. And so for those of you that find that you have fuzzy thinking, poor concentration, poses like this are going to center you, and they're going to nurture you. They're going to give you that sense of security. So you can let go of that worry and fuzziness and poor concentration. It's like really when you strengthen your core in that way, you give your stomach a chance to be able to efficiently take in mentally what you're taking in. It's like a cement truck, and then it can process it easily and move it through, rather than a cement truck that's really weak or broken, and then it can't break down the gravel and move it through, right? But if you have a strong cement truck, then it can break it on and move it on through, right? So you're making a really efficient cement truck. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So you're going to bend the knees back, and then first thing you're going to do is pull that away. Then it's simple. Lift the hips off the ground, and now you're just going to reach up more through the fingertips. So if you tend to be somebody who's like fuzzy, has that mental fuzziness and a hard time concentrating a lot, core strengthening exercises. Okay, and then we're going to lower down. Good job. And we're moving on. And this time we're going to do Dolphin Pose. So you're going to come, let's just do a little bit of cat-cow on our forearms here first, to warm you up to the idea. And then you're going to tuck your toes under, and you're going to come back into down dog on your forearms. Okay, so this is really great because it lengthens out your hamstrings, your calves. It strengthens your arches. It builds strength in your upper body. It opens up your chest. It opens up all the breast tissue here. It actually stretches out your back really well. Okay, come on down, take a little break. It helps to regulate your digestion, tones your core muscles. It's very therapeutic for menopause and asthma, high blood pressure, flat feet, and sciatica. It helps you to relieve backache and fatigue, stress, and mild depression. It really opens up those shoulders, the chest, the inner armpits. It's so good for breast tissue health. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. So really press into your forearms and try and open up through the armpits as much as you can. Open up through the armpits. Okay. And then from here, we're going to transition into standing. So however you want to come up to standing, I'm going to come through down dog. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to tell Tim. I'm so sorry. Okay, from standing, we're going to do mountain pose. And you're just going to have your feet hip width apart. Lift and spread your toes. Lengthen down long through your toes. Lengthen up through your spine. And then you're going to interlace your fingers. Turn your palms up and reach them up to the ceiling. Okay. So mountain pose really helps you to improve your posture. It strengthens your thighs and your knees and your ankles. It helps to increase your awareness. It helps to steady your breathing. It increases the strength, power, and mobility in your feet, in your legs, and your hips. It firms your abdominals in your buttocks. It relieves sciatica and it reduces flat feet. Okay, how are you guys feeling? You must be really feeling your arms now. That was like side plank, dolphin, and then arms overhead. I bet you guys are loving me right now. Okay, we're going to come into tree pose now. So you're going to stand on your right foot, turn your left toes out to your side. You're going to either keep your toes on the ground above or below your knee. And then you're going to take your hands to your heart center, lift up through your chest. You can either keep your hands at your heart center or you can take them overhead. Okay, I would recommend you take them overhead. I just don't here because of the filming situation. So again, this one is great for strengthening your arches. It's very strengthening for your legs. It opens up your hips and your groin. It's toning for your abdominals. It opens up your chest. It's great for balance and concentration. It helps you find your center and groundedness. It's great for focus. And then we'll go ahead and take tree pose on the other side. This one's really good for sciatica as well. And so again, either toes on the ground, inner thigh below the knee or above the knee. And then hands, either you can have them at the heart center. You could take that same variation where you interlace the fingers, take them overhead. That's a really good variation for breast tissue health. If you want to work on arm strength, just press your hands together. Okay, and then we're going to release that down. And then the next pose that we're going to do is eagle pose. So lots of variations for this pose because depending on your joints, you're going to want to take care of your body. Or if you have a lot of mobility through your joints, you're going to be able to take a different expression of this pose. So the first variation is you bring your feet together, you come into a little squat, you bring your elbows and your hands together. There's a nice variation of eagle pose. Or you can stand on your right leg, cross your left leg over, put your toes on the ground, bring your left arm up, bring your elbows together, or hook your right arm underneath, bring the backs of the hands together, or the palms together. You can add more of a balance challenge by lifting this right leg, the left leg off the ground, or you can hook your foot all the way around. So it just depends on the mobility of the joints. So speaking of the joints, this pose is great for all the joints of the body: ankle, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. It's great for balance, stability, focus. It's great. It gets right into the backs of the shoulders. It strengthens the leg muscles, the glutes. Strengthens the arches of the feet. You can release this from your body. It opens up the hips and the IT band. It improves the circulation to all the joints. It's great for digestion and elimination as well. Okay, let's do it on the left leg. So again, let's build it. You can start with your feet together, elbows and hands together, and squat. That's a great variation. Or stand on your left leg, cross your right leg over, toes on the ground, elbows together. Or left arm, hook the right arm underneath, backs of hands together, or maybe palms together. If you want more of a balance challenge, lift the toes off the ground. If you want it, if your joints allow, and often this is the case for women's bodies, but not men's bodies, the foot might hook, okay? So women's hips tend to be more open than men's hips. And that's just because of childbirth, right? Women have to, they don't have to, but women can give birth to children, and men don't, which is why the hips are more open on women. So through the stability and groundedness of balancing poses, you'll be able to feel safe and secure and centered. Trust the unfolding of your life, flow with your life, and flow with your emotions. Okay, let's do a warrior pose from standing. We're going to take our feet wide on our mats. And you can turn your right toes out, your left toes in, sink down through your right sit bones. Bring your arms up to parallel to the ground. You're going to drop your left arm back and your right arm up for peaceful warrior. So this one, again, is great. Strengthens the arches of the feet, strengthens the legs and the glutes. It opens up the chest. It's great for digestion because it opens up the abdominal organs. Okay. It improves the flexibility of your spine. You're going to come back to center. We'll turn the right toes in, the left toes out. Sink down through your left sit bone. Bring your arms up. Strengthens your shoulders. Opens up your groins and your hips. Drop your right arm back. Open up your left arm this time. Okay, and then we're going to come back to the center. And again, the poses like this, they build a real sense of stability and groundedness, so you can find that center and security in your being. So you feel nurtured and grounded. And you can trust your life. Okay, we're going to do dolphin again. So let's come into it by inhaling. You're going to exhale and you're going to fold forward. You're going to step back into down dog. And from down dog, you're going to lower down onto your elbows and open up through your armpits. Let your head dangle here. And then you can come down and you can come all the way down onto your belly. Okay. On your belly, just take a moment to be thankful that Dolphin Pose is over and it won't show up again in the class. And then you can roll your shoulders back and up. And you're going to reach back through your arms, lift them up off the ground. And you're going to lift your chest up off the ground, reach back through your fingertips, and reach your legs up off the ground. So this is Locust Pose. It strengthens your back and your core, lengthens your spine, opens your chest, tones your butts and your hamstrings, tones your abdominal organs, improves your digestion, and it promotes calmness and focus. Okay, lower down. Just pause here, rest. Okay, we're going to do that again. So, roll your shoulders back and up. Lengthen long through your fingertips. Lift your chest up off the ground. Use your fingertips reaching back to help you reach your legs long off the ground. Okay, lower back down. And then come over onto your belly. And we're going to do a reclined twist. It can be nice to use props for the reclined twist. So especially if you have SI joint issues, it's really a good idea to keep the alignment in the joints. So putting a block between your knees is nice. And then also keeping the hips stacked. So we can start the twist from here. And also, let's just treat our necks nicely too. So let's talk about propping and twists. So I'm going to, instead of like having my head hang down there, so let's do this. Block between my knees, head underneath my pillow under my head so my neck is straight. So now, I'm just thinking if I showed this from the other side, it would be better. Let me show it from the other side first. Okay, so now my hips are stacked, and when I come into my twist, it'd be a good idea for me to fill this space here, because if I roll onto my back and this is not straight, then it puts a lot of strain on the SI joint here, the joint between the sacrum and the pelvis. So you want to keep that stacked. You can turn your chest. That's totally fine. But try and keep this straight. Otherwise you're just yanking on this joint all the time. So twists are great for digestion. They're great to release tension in your back. They're great for all your internal organs. And they're so good for relieving tension. So any kind of tension, physical, mental tension. So come onto your back and let's just feel into that and just let your spine unwind. This class feels like it's gone so fast. Has it gone fast? Okay, stack the hips again. We're coming over to the other side now. And then roll onto your back. And if your shoulder's in the air, then you're going to use that trick of twisting your chest up towards the ceiling, sliding your shoulder out. And you can always feel the space underneath your shoulder. But try and keep your hips stacked so that you don't put strain on the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint. Then you're going to get a deeper twist too. Told you this was going to be a deep class. You got to release that dolphin pose. Okay, and then you can take the block out from between your legs, and you can lie on your back for Shavasana, a well-deserved Shavasana. You might want to have your knees bent, your feet wide, and your knees dropping towards each other. For Shavasana, especially if you have low back issues, if you have a bolster, you can put the bolster underneath your knees. This is probably the most important pose in the class, so that you can receive and integrate your practice. And you can stay here for Shavasana. I'm going to sit up and talk to you about some of the benefits of Shavasana and read you a poem. So Shavasana brings your body into a meditative state. It relaxes and calms your body. It reduces blood pressure and anxiety. It improves concentration and memory. And it will increase your levels of energy. So think about it like recharging your batteries. And you can even imagine that you're plugged into a battery recharger at your head and your feet, and that your batteries are being recharged when you're in Shavasana. And I like to read my students a poem when you're in Shavasana. It's not, you don't have to like the poem. If you don't like it, it's no big deal. But to listen to a poem can be a kind of spiritual practice where we let go of our analytical mind that wants to take charge and turn the poem into a problem to be solved. So open to the pleasure of hearing the poem and let go of the work of interpreting it and trying to figure it out. This isn't school. You're not getting graded on your interpretation. So shift from thinking about the poem to experiencing whatever arises in the present moment when you hear the poem. Maybe body sensations, sounds, and feelings, changes in your breath. You know, even unpleasant sensations are valid sensations. Notice them as strands in the intricate textures of your present moment experience. So allow yourself to be in the poem and accept its mysteries. Immerse yourself in the poem's atmosphere, tones, and textures and sounds. The images, the rhythms, the way it moves, and how it feels for you. You need no training for this, just a curiosity and a willingness to be open and to listen. This poem is called The Noisiness of Sleep by Ada Limon. Careful of what I carry in my head and in my hollow. I've been a long time worried about grasping infinity and coaxing some calm out of the softest part of the pins and needles of me. I'd like to take a nap, but not a nap that's eternal, a nap where you wake up, having dreamt of falling, but you've only fallen into an ease so unknown to you, it looks like a new country. Let me slip into a life less messy. Let me slip into your sleeve. Be very brave about my trespass. The plan is simple. The plan is the clock tower and the lost crow. It'll be rich. We'll live forever. Every moon will be a moon of surrender and lemon seeds. You there standing up in the crowd. I'm not proud. The stove can't boast of the meal. All this to say, consider this with your combination of firefly and train whistle. Consider this with your maze and steel. I want to be the soft clothes you can sleep in. So as you're resting back in Shavasana, I want to acknowledge the way you have nourished and cared for yourself through your yoga practice today. The way that you have let go of pushing so hard and found ease in your yoga practice. The way you've dropped down through your many layers to find your deep, valuable self-worth. And to recognize that you are worthwhile, to flow with your life, to flow with your emotions with a deep trust, and to connect with your inner radiance, warmth, joy, peace, and love. The world needs these qualities that you connect with when you practice daily yoga, and I am so grateful for your practice and the difference you're making in the lives of all beings in the world. So gradually allow your breath to deepen. You can wiggle and start to stretch out. And then bend your knees and roll to your right side. And slowly make your way up to a seated position. We're going to close out our practice by gathering the fruits of our practice first into ourselves so that we nurture and nourish ourselves. And then we offer the radiance and the warmth and the joy and the love of our practice out into the world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So thank you so much for joining me today for this total body daily yoga class. Give yourself a thumbs up for all those dolphins today, and put this total body yoga has filled me with radiance and love in the comments. And be sure to share this radiance and love with somebody that you know loves yoga in your life by sharing this on your Facebook or your Instagram or your whatever socials you're on. Maybe you share the email that you get with somebody. And next week, I'm going to have a daily yoga nidra for you on a special location. So be sure to subscribe and press the little bell so you make sure that you get that next week and it shows up in your feed. And I want to thank Gail and Anise for your donations. Thank you for supporting us. It allows me to buy nice new yoga pants like I did this week. I appreciate that. It makes me feel nice and fresh and new for spring. And thanks for being here. I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as strong as the old growth trees in our forests, and rooted as the old growth trees in our forests, and as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.